Yes, I said it. Someone had to say it. No one's really been talking about it, but I'll say it. The Kelly Oubre trade was probably a mistake. Now, the reason I say this, and hindsight, of course, let me go ahead, yeah, let me go ahead and address the hindsight. So, in hindsight, of course, back when it happened, it didn't seem like that bad of a trade. Uh, I think this was after the Klay Thompson injury, so I was kind of questioning it, but it is what it is, right? I thought he'd come in and just be a solid shooter, do what he had to do, and have a good impact on the team. Well, clearly he hasn't, and I would even say like he hasn't had any positive impact at all. He's really been kind of a negative on the court, and you know what? I'll take that back because I know the Kelly Oubre fans are watching this. He's been a okay defender from what I've seen. I already knew Kelly Oubre wasn't this great defender. Just like see a common misconception in the NBA community. People think that because someone is long and athletic that they're automatically a good defender. Like no, if we're talking about long and athletic makes you a good defender, then Andrew Wiggins would be one of the best wing defenders in the league. It's just not true. He's one of the worst. And the reason is because he's not smart. He puts in no effort and he just looks lost on the court, like literally at all times. And I hate to talk shit and bash on Andrew Wiggins, but it is what it is, right? Stephen Curry, he's one of my favorite players. Kelly Oubre last season was one of my favorite players, but he's just not gonna succeed in this Warriors offense or really on this Warriors team because there's not a lot of space for him to operate with. He's not the type of guy that's gonna take a player one on one and show and go some fancy dribble moves and step back threes and mid ranges. So I don't understand why he's been like this is another thing. He's been taking these wild step back threes or these contested threes in the first 3 games, and I'm just like, that's not really his game. I don't understand why he's taking those. Hopefully, someone steps in and says, "Yo, you need to stop doing that." But I don't know who he thinks he is. But what they need to do, or at least what I think they need to do, I guess put him in the more pick and rolls. Like I'm not really sure. There's just not a lot of space. Usually with the Suns, he was a backdoor cutter. He get a lot of putback dunks, and then of course when he had a mismatch on him, he could just use his superior athleticism to go by him and dunk on the big or get a wide open dunk. But with his Warriors team, they just don't have a lot of shooting. Now James Wiseman actually has hit more threes than Kelly Oubre, who has hit zero. Kelly Oubre has hit zero threes. James Wiseman has hit a couple, and he looks like his form is pretty. So he looks like he could be a fine shooter in the NBA. I'm not sure. We got to see more games, and obviously we have a small sample size, but James Wiseman, he looks like he's gonna be like my friend suggested that they just do a 2-man game with Steph Curry and James Wiseman. I'm like, a 2-man game, would it work with not only a rookie but with this Warriors spacing? I don't know. And then it's like when Stephen Curry and James Wiseman are off the court, then what? They really got to figure that out because even on the bench, they don't have any shooters. Like it feels like when I'm watching this Warriors team, I'm just seeing them miss a bunch of shots. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're one of the least efficient teams in the NBA right now. But that aside, Kelly Oubre, he just doesn't fit well here. Like when Klay Thompson got injured, I just don't think that was a trade to make. Now that could have been the only offer they got, and I'm pretty sure they give up a pick for Kelly Oubre. But like seriously, I want you guys like no bias, because I know biased fans are gonna see this. But seriously, do you think Kelly Oubre can excel with this team? I don't think so. Last season was his best season so far. He put up 18 a game, and they didn't have the best spacing, but they had pretty solid spacing with Devin Booker, Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio showing he could really shoot. Cam Johnson off the bench. Mikal Bridges was an okay shooter. So it's like he had space to work with, and then of course he had Ricky Rubio, an elite passer ready to dime him. Now, obviously Steph Curry is a great passer and playmaker, but like I said in my Warriors video, he excels when there's a lot of motion, offense, and spacing because he can make others better just by his gravity on the court. He can get people like Draymond Green open for cuts and stuff like that. So I'm interested in seeing just how Steve Kerr can adjust and how he can make an offense that Kelly Oubre and Andrew Wiggins can excel in. And I'm sure the Warriors were hoping that Andrew Wiggins would be better than what he is right now. But as you can see, he's just been kind of trash. So has Kelly Oubre. But if your feelings are hurt, you can hit the comment section. We can talk about it at any time. We can debate or whatever you want to do, because I am down to have a debate on whether or not the Warriors are a good team. Because you guys really wanted to debate me in with that Warriors video. So if you have anything you don't agree with, just comment in the comment section. And with that being said, it's your boy Nate from Anything Goes, and we out.